the world outside of the United States, because keep in mind, we're trapped in a bit of an echo chamber where we really only listen to American news and we really only listen to our American leadership. We don't really understand how the rest of the world thinks. Outside of the United States, the world supports Palestine. The world is not supporting Israel right now. And if you do, just based on body counts, because Israel has such an advanced military, they've already injured 3 times as many Palestinian civilians as Israeli civilians were injured in the one day of the attack, right? There have been no Hamas incursions into Israel since October 7th. All attacks, all killing has happened inside Gaza from the Israeli military attacking civilian targets because there's no standing military. So there are no military targets. Because Israel calls Hamas terrorists, it means that any place that a Hamas supporter lives, they're essentially a terrorist outpost. Any political leader, anybody who has any sheriff, any congressperson, any senator inside Gaza is essentially labeled a terrorist. And that gives Israel carte blanche to do whatever they want. And the United States supports them because the United States also calls Hamas terrorists, right? What we're really seeing happen here, Stephen, is Iran is winning. And Iran is not the only person at play here. And I'm going to unpack that in a second. Okay. Iran is winning because they wanted to provoke an attack from Israel. Not only did they provoke Israel to overreact, I believe they have launched Israel into Israel's version of the Vietnam War. Israel has now made commitments that if it sees through these commitments, if it actually does what it says it will do, it will lose support of the entire world. They are intentionally creating a humanitarian crisis. They are starving and hiding and keeping medicine and water away from innocent people, children, women, elderly, they are intentionally killing civilians under the rubric, under the promise that they're also killing terrorists. This is the same strategy that Russia is using in Ukraine, right? At least in Ukraine, there was a formal decree that all fighting age males were conscripted into military service. So now when Russia bombs an electricity plant in Ukraine, a civilian target in Ukraine, it can at least claim that it's neutralizing electricity because the country's full of military-aged men. When Israel bombs Gaza, Gaza made no conscription. There's no decree by the government in Gaza that says that all people are military-aged fighters, right? It just said that, hey, Hamas is our military wing and they're doing what they do with rockets and they don't have ground forces. So I believe Israel has launched into their version of the Vietnam War, and that's what we're going to see play out over the coming weeks and months, unless Netanyahu pulls his head out of his ass and realizes that he's being played. He's being played by Iran, and Iran is a member of a 3-member party that wants to destroy Western power in the world. Iran, Russia, and China. Their number one goal is to make the United States and its Western allies look like they are corrupt and one-sided and unfair and failed, because they want the world to move alliances from the West to essentially this new center of power in the East. Russia and Ukraine was the start of that move to make America look bad. Iran just played a fantastic card to make America and Israel look bad. But there's still one player on the board who hasn't made a move yet.
What's the next move? What do you think?
That's exactly. I've said for a long time that I believe China will move against Taiwan during our election cycle in 2025 or 2024. That is exactly what I believe the next step is. There is a doctrine in military science that says that no winning military can fight a war on 2 fronts. President Biden got up last night and told the American people that we need to support wars on 2 fronts. If the military doctrine, if the best knowledge out there says that you can't win a 2-front war, what do you think it means about a 3-front war? And that's exactly what China's looking at. China's always playing the math, the probabilities. How fast can they move on Taiwan, and what support can the U.S. offer? If the U.S. is busy supporting Israel through their Vietnam, and supporting Ukraine, and Russia's been advancing since October 9th. Within 2 days of the attack from Hamas against Israel, Russia launched an offensive campaign, and they've been taking territory back in Ukraine. That's not making headlines because everybody's too busy talking about Israel. So Iran is winning, Russia is winning, and the United States has no Speaker of the House to approve funding.
If you like this short clip, make sure you click here to see the next clip or here to see the full podcast episode.
So fresh, so new.